A thread by Carlos Osuida. Chipper Bird tweets this. Lots of ha-has. Hashtag Trump is losing. Hashtag Trump is a national disgrace. Hashtag stupid is as stupid does. Carlos responds, did you know that in the entire time Donald Trump ran for office and served his first of 2 terms, not one leftist ever gave me a coherent argument for opposing him? Your contribution is entirely typical. My communist brother is very intelligent. He's like you. When it comes to actual reasons why I shouldn't support Trump, he's got nothing. He just hates Trump. That's not a reason for me to oppose Trump. Your hate has nothing to do with me. I assume that somewhere in the whirling stew of rage and confusion inside your head, you understand that there aren't enough irrational Trump haters for you to win. You need to convince people like me to join you. And yet, you never try. Have you been paying attention to what former leftists are saying? It's always the same thing. I decided to actually listen to Trump supporters and they won me over. Arielle Scarcella is a lesbian activist. I have no idea what she plans on doing in November. That's her business. But can you possibly imagine how hard it was for her to walk away from the left? Dr. Karlin Borisenko is another. She's still liberal, but she's sane. There aren't enough insane people to defeat Trump. Just look at what's happening. Abolish the police, abolish prisons, make Jim Crow laws for white people, mob rule, brown shirts destroying art, an entire race being told that it is genetically inferior, open persecution of Jewish people. The masks have dropped, and this is good. We see real Americans saying, not for me, and rejecting the new absolutist theocracy. For the first time, maybe ever, Americans see that people of goodwill do want the same things. We simply disagree on how to get there. So we need to talk it out and find answers that we can all live with. We can do it, especially after this national display of total madness. I'm actually totally apolitical. I voted based on personal freedom and national defense. It's because I was born and raised in a country with secret police. Cuban trained terrorists came in and tried to murder us. We had soldiers at the school in armored cars. I can't even tell you how many criminals, terrorists, and dirty cops my father shot and killed. He taught us how to spot trouble. I use that early training to this day. My communist brother is too young to remember the communist terrorists. That's why he's a communist today, not a real communist. Our parents supported him, and then he got a hefty inheritance. The real communists made shaped charges out of wine bottles. They packed the punt with plastic explosives. The detonator went into the plastic explosive. The 2 detonator wires were soldered to the hammer and catch of a mousetrap, and 2 more wires were soldered between the hammer and catch and the 2 terminals of a 9-volt battery. The terrorists carried dry ice in insulated bags. They set up the shaped charges on above-ground oil pipelines of natural gas pipelines, or put a piece of dry ice between the mousetrap hammer and wooden platform. When the dry ice evaporated, the wires on the hammer and catch touched, closing the circuit and exploding the shaped charge, which could cut through several inches of steel. My father discovered all this by ambushing and killing terrorists and examining their weapons. Black Lives Matter and Antifa are pikers compared to the Islamic State, the Taliban, and the Nazis. But we're not going to wait until they grow up to be full-fledged terrorists. The Democrats offer nothing but misery, failure, and slavery. Trump offers the freedom to be you. In Trump's America, fathers won't have to shoot it out with the secret police and terrorists armed with explosives. The Black Lives Matter and Antifa's America, the sky is the limit when it comes to mayhem. Again, hate is not an argument. And that is why Trump will win hugely.